Hello, this is Right Side Trader. Today is February 6, 2026, and this is my weekly market review. We're reviewing S&P 500. That's SPX this time, not SPY. SPY has some pricing stuff going on, so I had to switch over to the SPX, which is also an S&P 500 ETF out there, and all. It's a good one to trade. But this is all for educational purposes only. No trade recommendation based. Please check with your financial advisor, check with your significant other, and make sure trading is something that is suitable for you. The little change got me all changed up. And I'll let me resize this, and I'll bring this over, bring this down. Yeah, it messes me all up. I tell people I cannot have too much change going on at this stage in my life. And I'll maximize this and all, and there we are. SPX, what I see here, again, we still have yearly pivots. Pivots are all I like showing on this chart. Again, we are green. We got a green doji near the top. We're still looking pretty bullish, even though we had a couple of rough weeks there and all, and see what we see once we get down there on those lower time frames. We did get above 7,000 on SPX. That'll be like 700 on your SPY and all, and look like we probably did make. When we get down, see that we made all-time highs and all, and I think we did and all. But let's go ahead and go down to that monthly chart and see what we see there. On this monthly chart, what we see here, that's right, we made all-time highs last week and all. What we see here, we're still above the 9-10 moving average. We're still above pivot and all. Again, we're looking very bullish, even though we have a doji here at the top. Be careful, be careful, be careful. Be mindful of that doji that we got here at this top here. But this is only the first couple of weeks, first week in the month. So don't get too over concerned about that at this time. And we're still quite a bit off the 9-10 moving average. So nothing to be too concerned about at this time. Let's go ahead and go down to this weekly chart and see what we see there. On this weekly chart, zoom, we can see we're above the 50 and the 200. Those are the two moving averages that you see on there. You can still see the 50 here. And as you can still see here, this market really is not going anywhere too fast. We've gotten where we got it into a pretty little tight range, going sideways here for the last like this 4 or 5 weeks that I got in there, and we get a little bit above it. We come back in there. Right now, this month, we are staying above pivot. We did go down below pivot to a support 1 level. Didn't quite make it down to a support 2 level, but we haven't made it to a resistance 1 level yet. Like I said, if we break that resistance 1 level, we definitely get a close above there. We'll be above 700, and then we'll be able to rock and roll and see if we're going to be going higher. But let's go ahead and go down to this daily noise and see what we see there and wrap this on up. On this daily noise, let's zoom in here, and what we see today was a huge day. I put out a little video based on what I was looking at today earlier in the day around 11 o'clock. It's usually when I'm wrapping things up. My day is done, and this market continued to run. I'm okay with that, and because again, I have other things to do other than sit around here, I guess, and make money. But this was a huge day today. It came back and closed this gap in one day. And the other day when I was looking at this, when this thing gapped down, I called, oh, that's an amateur gap. This market must be getting ready to the bottom. And that's why, again, I put them, when I saw we had double bottomed here, we had bottomed. And then today when we open up like we open up, I think let's make that money. And it was a good day. It really was a pretty good week, even considering that we had this big drop. I ended up sitting on my hands. If you had listened to me last week, I said it was time for me to start finding me another little hobby to just get myself away from this market for a few days. And that's what I was able to do this time on this drop. So I didn't take too much heat on this, although I did take a little bit of heat, but it was okay. And I'm looking at I should be able to make that back, the little bit that I did lost. I had sold cover calls on things, so everything is good. So I'm not even worrying about that. I got some expired, getting into too much trading. But everything looks good come next week. I see us opening above pivot and this market going higher. Let's see if we're going to actually break these tops and start get back where this week was a little bit of a down week, but we pull a lot of it back today, over half of it back today. So again, that's why I'm seeing that this market, maybe that money is coming back into this market and getting ready to go higher. And that's what I see. And that's all I really have to share today. Today, This is a Right Side Trader. Hope you guys had a great week. Hope you guys have a great weekend. And I'll see you next week. Have a good one. Bye.